Mike's Daily Podcast.
Hey, we're back to doing Mike's Daily Podcast in Castro Valley. Podcastro Valley here at the last place on earth.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
At Cafe Anyway. It's FF episode 1832. 1832. How are you? We've got Good Friday coming up in a couple of days. And I can't wait because I am happy that I get the day off. It's going to be fun. Going to do things like
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Shop at Costco, because that's what Good Friday has turned into.
Mike's
a Costco run.
Daily.
Has this been fun?
Podcast.
For you yet?
Yeah!
Good. I wanted to tell you about baby names. I thought I would write that. First off, last show, we discussed gardening and the positive effects of gardening. This show, I think we will stay away from the dirt, although digging in the dirt to see the places I got hurt. That's a little Peter Gabriel for you. I sang a little Peter Gabriel with my lovely lady friend, who is not here in this part of Cafe Anyway. She's in the back watching Iron Man. Because not that thing where people swim and bicycle and run because they want to die. It's that wonderful Robert Downey Jr. movie. Because apparently, part of his origin story is going to pertain prominently in Endgame, which will probably be one of the biggest movies of all time. Have you seen, well, action movies or comic book movies? Did you see the little thing about Star Wars, the last movie they're going to do, The Rise of Skywalker and whatnot? Yeah, Lando Calrissian, Mr. Billy D. Williams in that wonderful clip. And then the girl. Hey!
And here's today's podcast picture.
I think it's time for the podcast picture, because that's what Ariel said. And so we shall acquiesce and talk about what the podcast picture is. I think it's going to also have to do with Half Moon Bay. The podcast picture the last time was Half Moon Bay, where Basil the Boxer and I went to, I think this was, 2 years ago, yes. And I'm in a Half Moon Bay frame of mind. By the way, you might be asking, Mike, this is a podcast. How can I possibly see the picture to the podcast? Well, you go to MikesDailyPodcast.com. There's Basil there. He's like, you better go to MikesDailyPodcast.com or I'll lick you in the face, which is what he did just a little while ago. And I had to wash that face pretty good. But I still love to get the Basil. Oh my gosh. The Basil slobber. This big old mosquito. Where did this guy come from? Buzzing around Cafe Anyway. That's not right. Shouldn't have that. I don't like this time of year with the mosquitoes. Even in the Bay Area here in California, where, you know, it's not like the South, where mosquitoes will come and take your small child away, fly into the sky, and then someday enroll them in college and go, gosh, it's expensive to have kids. Mosquitoes say that. And that's the weirdest thing I know you probably have ever heard. How about this interesting picture at Half Moon Bay? And I have to say, this is a part of Half Moon Bay that I cannot go to anymore because Basil, who you heard singing up a storm just a little while ago, can't walk that far anymore. Which, in some ways, you know, there is a part of me that goes, well, I don't think I could walk that far either. Because we would walk, I remember the day that we walked this long distance, and this was 5 years ago, I believe. I'll have to double check that. But yeah, we walked so far, and it was, 5 years ago today. And by the time we got done walking, I remember just being so exhausted and going, I got to drive an hour home. How am I going to do that? But it was a beautiful day. Oh, there's seals in this picture. I forgot about that. Oh, yeah, I don't think we ever made it out this far. We basically started at Poplar Beach in Half Moon Bay and walked south. And we kept going, and I think maybe 3 hours. I think we killed about 5 hours. It was a day. Well, I think I was out of work back then, so we basically had a lot of time to do stuff like this. It was a long walk, and we got to this point where there was a rock, and I'm amazed I only took one picture of this. There was this rock with all these cranes or cormorants sitting on it. And you can see the seals there. Anyway, I know I'm painting this beautiful picture, but you can just see the picture tells a million words and stories, doesn't it? A picture sure tells a story, and you can see it now at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Because that's all I wanted to say. Oh, that, and yeah, singing Peter Gabriel today. And my lovely lady friend, we were singing that Don't Give Up song with the Kate Bush. Okay, but yeah, Peter Gabriel also did the song Digging in the Dirt. And I was going through, I collected a bunch of papers over the years, and I'm now getting to finally read all these magazines and stuff that I've been collecting, newspapers, because I'm a hoarder. But no, I can still live in my house. There's still some room. It's a little room by the front door. I can just sleep right by the front door. It's very comfortable. No, what I'm saying is that I am now able to read this stuff because I am on BART all the time, and I kill time by reading this, and I find it fascinating. Some stuff, 5 years old. I remember I was going to a bunch of California earthquakes soccer games. By the way, I don't know if you know about the professional soccer world in America and the United States, that for some reason a lot of cities name their soccer teams after natural disasters or horrible tragedies. Like, yeah, we want to celebrate earthquakes here in California, so we will call our soccer team the Quakes. It's not named after the Quakers. As we go outside a cafe anyway, we're bringing Mike's Daily Podcast somewhere in Podcastro Valley. I forgot to say that part. But no, there's the Chicago has their soccer team is called the Chicago Fire. REM. But that wasn't what I was talking about. Soil. So there, I had this brochure about soil, about dirt, and all the amazing stuff that you can find in dirt. All the minerals, all the nematodes, the little bugs, and how much soil is full of all kinds of amazing super powerhouse things. A lot of living and dead minerals and things and essence are in soil. And I'm reading it, and I look at the bottom, and this is from a brochure that came out in 2005. How the hell have I been holding on to a brochure since I think I'd been married for a year when I picked up this brochure? And I've long since been divorced, and I picked it up in the Bay Area, I know that much, and I wasn't living in the Bay Area back in 2005, so what the hell? So I threw that out because I was feeling kind of pathetic. The point is, you sometimes gotta trash stuff. Yes, Kondo is right, Maria Kondo. But at the same time, realize that that's a fad. And yes, it is it is important to clean. It's important to clean a little bit every day instead of just do a massive, I got to do everything today. I think we pack too much into one thing, one time, because we're afraid, I can't. If we get into more of a habit of stuff, then I think we see the real results. The real results. Imani Coppola. Do you remember Imani Coppola? She was pretty awesome. She had that one song. She took that song by Donovan, Sunshine Superman, and made some kind of like hip hoppy type tune about Imani Coppola. It was alternative-y. It was in the 90s. And I cannot remember a single line from that song. But at any rate, I see that CD outside here at Cafe Anyway, because somebody brought it over just now, just a second, here they are, talking. Hi, Mac. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How y'all doing?
And to Disgruntled Fiddle Player tell you
What?
I think Benita liked that song for some particular reason.
Yeah, in fact, let me get it for you right now. As I reach over and get it from that spot. Legend of a Cowgirl. That's why I like that song.
That's right, Legend of a Cowgirl, Imani Coppola. She's got these cool dread hairs, kind of like the Coolio type that go off in all kinds of directions. Legend of a Cowgirl. Pack my bags and head for the bear. Something like that. There you go. Check her out. From the 90s, Legend of a Cowgirl. I think I played that song. I took the lyrics out, made like a loop, and I would talk over that when I was on country radio in Ventura County. K-Hey is what that was. All right. Look who else is here.
Hello, Mac. I make the delicious root beer. I'm the brewmaster. Oh, boy, I'll cut you.
I had some root beer today. I went to BJ's. Yes, we have a place in California called BJ's. And what? It's not referring to, it's someone's name. And they're known for their pizookies, which is like cookie dough that's like halfway cooked, and then they put ice cream on top. And it's fattening as crap. And I went and I had lunch today with some friends, and it was probably the most fattening thing I've eaten in a long time. Very delicious. It was like a pizza turned into a wrap of some kind. It was, yeah, that's what it was. Weird baby names. What was I going with the BJ's? Oh, I had a root beer there. Yeah, they make their own root beer. They make their own beer. And the root beer, it was pretty good. So, sorry, Brewmaster.
That's all right. I don't mind. I'll kill you. I'm about to take gold three.
That's great. Hey, speaking of funky, weird names, let's look at all the stupid celebrity names that have ever been. I pulled this out of a paper from like 5 years ago. Kim Kardashian and Kanye West named their daughter North. Jason Lee and his ex-fiancée Beth Riesgraf named their son Pilot Inspector. Penn Jillette, you know of Penn and Sean? Penn and Teller, that's what I meant. And his wife Emily named their kids Crime Fighter and Zoltan. Oh, because Emily's middle name is Zoltan. Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban, whom I've interviewed, who you can hear the interview at MikesDailyPodcast.com, named their daughter Sunday Rose. Nicole Richie and husband Joel Madden. By the way, I guess she's over in Pleasanton all the time seeing her dad-in-law. Where actually we did the show from Podcaster Valentino on yesterday, or 2 days ago. Named their daughter Harlow Winter Kate and their son Sparrow James Midnight. Jamie Oliver, the cook, not to be confused with John Oliver, the funny man on HBO. They named their 4 kids Buddy Bear, Maurice, Daisy Boo Pamela, Poppy Honey Rosie, and Petal Blossom Rainbow. Alicia Keys and Swizz Beatz named their son Egypt Dowd. Robert Downey Jr. and his wife Deborah Falconer named their son Indio Falconer. Downey and his his second wife, Susan Levine, named their son what the hell is this? Exton Elias. Pharrell Williams, used to be known just as Pharrell, and his wife, Helen, named their son Rocket Man. You know about Gwyneth Paltrow and Chris Martin, Beyonce and Jay-Z, Frank Zappa. Oh, all of Frank Zappa's kids. Here they are. Dweezil, Diva, Moon Unit, and Ahmed. Oh, Nicolas Cage named his son Kal-El. Lil' Kim and boyfriend Mr. Papers named their son Royal Rain. All right. Oh, by the way, Jermaine Jackson and his wife Alejandra named their sons Your Majesty and Jafar Jackson. Okay. There you go. Done with that. That's all finished. I didn't even get into the debate about if we should eliminate anonymous comments online. Maybe my lovely lady friend will join me for that particular podcast when we do that at some point. But I think we'll wrap it up for today. What do you think? All right, good. I'm glad you agree. Next show, it'll be the wonderful Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley. Do something nice for yourself today. Do something to get into the habit of a good habit. Do something that was positive. Do something that down the road, a little bit at a time, will become something huge and majestic and monumental and lovely. And thank you for listening.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at MikesDailyPodcast.com. Email Mike now at MikesDailyPodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!